Hola! Today we are going to be learning about the coordinate plane and reminding ourselves how to graph an ordered pair. And you have done this in the past, but with only positive numbers. Some of you might have gotten into the negatives, but we've been working with vertical and horizontal number lines. So I think this is going to be a piece of cake for you. So we are going to be learning about, or I can plot and name ordered pairs on the coordinate plane. And you're also going to be naming parts of the coordinate plane. Don't forget to put your name and the date. What is the distance between -5 and 5? So this is a review question because we have to think of that number line. And we are going to be doing this on the coordinate plane as well in our next lesson. So here's 0, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And -1, -2, -3, -4, -5. So from -5 to 5, that absolute value is 5, so that's the distance. And from 0 to 5, that absolute value is 5. So an easy way for us to do this is take the absolute value of -5 plus the absolute value of 5 to get the distance between them, which is 10. All right, so plotting ordered pairs, what I want you to remember is that this first, it's alphabetical, this first one is the X. This is the X, and this is the Y. We've done this, you've done this before. This goes horizontally, and this one goes vertically. So to graph, this is really like our driving directions. So ordered pair is that pair of numbers in the order X, Y. So ordered pair. Is like our driving directions from the origin, which is this part right here, that's 0, 0. So it tells us that we're going over 3 and up 2. So over 3, up 2, and this is our point. And just like when we plot a point on a number line, we are going to use that closed circle to plot that point. So before we actually talk about naming the ordered pairs in this next part, I want to remind you of some of the vocabulary. The x-axis is this vertical line. Sorry, horizontal. The horizontal axis. The y-axis is the vertical axis. The origin is where the two cross at 0, 0. So right here, origin. Ordered pairs, that's your X and Y, that tell you the direction on which you're, like how to drive from the origin to plot that point. So it tells us the location of the point. And then quadrants. A coordinate plane can be split into 4 different quadrants. There are times like this one up here where we just see one quadrant, the first quadrant, but when you have your axes, your vertical and your horizontal, it splits it into 4 different parts. And we call them quadrants. So each fourth. And they don't have to be exactly a fourth. Like you could have the axes not completely centered, that's okay. But regardless, this is the first quadrant, this is the second quadrant, this is the third quadrant, and this is the fourth quadrant. And I usually see them in numeral numbers, Roman numerals, I mean. So that's why I wrote them in Roman numerals. So it starts here with our positive numbers, and it goes counterclockwise. So for 2, our x is negative and our y is positive. For 3, we have to go over negative and down, so it's negative, negative. And for 4, the first number, the x is positive, but we're going down, so it's positive, negative. All right, so naming. We're looking for the blue, so here's the blue. And if we start at the origin, we have to go, I'm going to use so we have to go over 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 to negative 5 and down 2. So it's negative 5, negative 2. And it's in the third quadrant. The green, we have to go over 1, down 5. So positive 1, but down negative 5. So we say that is located at 1, negative 5. Notice I have my parentheses. Ordered pairs have to have, and we also call them coordinates. Ordered pairs have to have those parentheses. And that green is in that fourth quadrant. The red triangle we get to by going positive 3, up 4. So over 1, 2, 3, and then up to that 4. So we can say, I'm using purple a lot, aren't I? It's at 3, 4, always starting at that origin, and it is in quadrant 1. And the yellow square, we have to go over. Actually, why don't you pause quickly and see if you can do this one on your own. So to get that, we had to go over 1, 2, 3, and up 2. But we went negative. We went back. Just like if we were going on a number line, we went back negative 3 and up 2. So all we're doing is combining those horizontal and vertical number lines together. So negative 3, positive 2, and that was in quadrant 2. So now we have to locate and label. I want to remind you one more time that the x is the first number, the y is the second. The x is how far we go horizontally, the y is the vertical from the origin. So from 0, 0. So 0, 5. That means we're going over 0, up 5. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It would be right there. So we put the closed circle right on that grid, and you write the letter next to it. So you're not putting the letter on where the grid is. You're putting that closed circle. B is a positive 8 and a positive 4. So we have to go over to 8 and up 1, 2, 3, 4. So it's going to be right there. So I put the closed circle there and then put a B. C is at negative 4. So I have to go over to negative 4 and then up 2. So again, it's always going horizontally first and then vertically. So negative 4, 2, closed circle right at that grid point, and then write the letter next to it. D, we have to go over to a positive 5 and then down negative to negative 9. So if we drew our lines, it's where they would intersect. So we're going to put the closed circle there and D. I'd like you to pause and do the last three, please. And when we check in your notes, we're going to check to make sure you have E, F, and G in the correct spot. Peace out.